Hello everyone, and welcome to the finale of What If Shatter and Dropkick were in Transformers Prime. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So we start this part off with Team Prime as they walk through the cities of Cybertron searching for the Omega Lock. And eventually, they locate it. That is until fire breath is hit down at them. And it's some sort of giant lizard, a Predacon. It overtowers Wheeljack, but he's then like, bring it on. Then immediately puts on the Apex armor and begins to combat the Predacon. The Autobots are like, ha, nice job, Jackie. Come on, let's get to the Omega Lock. However, two more Predacons come in from behind them. And Pyro and Bulkhead then handle those two Predacons. And Bulkhead says, go, get to the Omega Lock, quickly. We'll cover you. And so, these Autobots head to the Omega Lock with the keys in hand. Until they're greeted by Dreadwing and Skyquake, who block their way to the Omega Lock. Skyquake then says, Autobots, we would suggest that you hand over those keys. And Dreadwing says, and leave the restoration of Cybertron to more capable hands. Smokescreen is then like, and why would we do that? That is when we see Shockwave walk up behind the group. RC says, I shot you in the eye, and the space bridge blew up. How? Shockwave then really explains the same story as he did in canon. Cliffjumpers Prime then tells RC to get to the Omega Lock quickly. He'll handle these three Decepticons. RC then nods, going off with the Autobots. Skyquake and Dreadwing stand beside Shockwave. Cliffjumpers Prime then walks up to them and tells Shockwave, you know what's the good thing about you surviving all this time? Shockwave then says, and what is that? Cliffjumpers Prime then takes out his weapons. I finally get the rematch I wanted all those years ago. And then he runs at the three. And we could more or less envision this fight the same as the Force battle in Revenge of the Fallen, with Optimus fighting three Decepticons at once and holding himself. Meanwhile, these five make their way to the Omega Lock. That is until Bumblebee notices a figure in the distance. Megatron then stands proudly. Decepticons! Your rightful lord and master has returned. Shockwave is shocked, no pun intended, to see Megatron online after he was said to be offline. Dreadwing is quite shocked at this too. However, Skyquake has a hunch about something. Shockwave, Dreadwing, and Skyquake walk up to their supposed master that has returned, and the Autobots just halt and watch. Also, the Predacons observe, and they are all on high guard. All of you must feast your eyes upon your true leader. And then it clicks within Skyquake. Megatron wouldn't want to take command of the Autobots. He would want to destroy them. He then opens a shot at Megatron, and before their eyes, it turns back into the Nemesis Prime drone. Cliffjumpers Prime then looks closer at the chest and sees the shadow outline of the spirits of Shatter and Dropkick. What? Smokescreen's like, oh scrap. I almost forgot that they had that thing. The Nemesis Prime drone then opens fire, causing everybody to mostly go and dive in for cover. However, Shockwave commands his Predacons to attack. The three Predacons then begin breathing fire and hell upon the drone, who speaks in a very disoriented voice. I am Nemesis Shatterkick Prime. You all are nothing. And he begins turning into a few dead characters to dodge and overcome the Predacons' fire breaths. Shatter and Dropkick then think, grr, if it weren't for Skyquake, we would have been able to unite everybody under our cause. How shall we make him suffer like us? And they look at each other and smile. Dreadwing is opening fire on Nemesis Shatterkick Prime, but however, is shot and killed himself. Skyquake then senses the death of his brother, and before Dreadwing passes, he speaks to his brother through their shared spark. Honor to the end. As to which Skyquake sheds a little tear. We then see Smokescreen holding all four of the Omega keys, running towards Cliffjumpers Prime. However, he is then shot through the spark, dying instantly. Skyquake observes as the Autobots crowd around him. Cliffjumpers Prime then says, a comrade, another brother, lost. He spent almost his whole life away from us, in stasis. Skyquake processes these words. That Autobot was just like me. He now joins the rest of our brothers, the Wreckers, in the Allspark. Bishop and Crosswise then look at each other, along with our siblings, Stinger, Nitrozeus, and Huntress. Even though they were Decepticons, they were still our siblings. We all shared a spark together. We felt their pain as they went offline, and for not sticking with us as a family. As to which Skyquake remembers what Optimus had said to him. I know that you value loyalty and honor, so please, side with the Autobots and help me end this conflict forever. And so, regret strikes him of never joining Optimus. And so, Skyquake approaches Cliffjumpus Prime. We shall avenge all of our fallen brethren. Now please, let's unite and end this conflict once and for all. As to which Cliffjumpus Prime then nods. Let us finish this. For Dreadwing, for Smokescreen, and for all our fallen brethren. They then come up with a plan and begin to enact it. We then see Shockwave, badly wounded, as he collapses to the ground. Nemesis Shatterkick Prime prepares to shoot him. As to which Shockwave looks around at everybody and to his creations and tells the Predacons, honor your ancestors and face your true enemies, and points to Shatter and Dropkick as he goes offline. As to which the three Predacons then look at each other. Skyquake goes to the Predacons, follow my lead. He then looks at the Autobots and nods at them, do it. Cliffjumpus Prime nods, and his fellow Autobots follow along. Cliffjumpus Prime says, hey Autobots, y'all know something? I wonder how Dropkick and Shatter do it. All this teamwork stuff. Even if they manage to take command of both Autobots and Decepticons at once, how in the Allspark are they gonna make us all work together? After all, we're two factions who don't get along. We need a leader with intelligence. And we wish for a leader who seeks conquest and conquering. Wheeljack and Bulkhead say, yeah, how could we do both? Shatter and Dropkick then look at each other, and Shatter says, they are correct. Dropkick, allow me to take control of this body. And Dropkick says, no way, I will take command of this body. That wasn't a request. They require a smart and tactical leader. No, if anything, I'm more worthy to lead than you. But as they begin to argue over control of the body, Pyro uses his flamethrowers to burn and weaken the body. RC uses the Polarity Goblet to keep him still from running away. And Bulkhead uses the Immobilizer, immobilizing them from moving fully once and for all. Grr, see what you did? Dropkick says. And Shatter responds, this was hardly my fault. You're the one who went all crazy. Bombs are then planted. Dreadwing's bomb is planted by Skyquake on the head, and Wheeljack places a bomb below them. They then blow up the body, and the spirits are blasted into the sky. Are they gone for good? Now, the chaos is over. Everyone looks at each other. What do we do now? Skyquake then looks at the Predacons. Go on. You're free now. And remember, honor your ancestors. And so, the Predacons nod, grabbing Shockwave's dead body and flying off, where they land somewhere and set up a grave for him, to which one walks away from the other two and looks at something, as to which the other two walk up behind them and they all look at the Predacon graveyard, which then something happens. They transform, and the three say honor to the fallen. Soon enough, the Autobots revive Cybertron. Skyquake offers to go and search for the Allspark. And another Autobot, by the name of Ultra Magnus, arrives and offers to help Skyquake in search of the Allspark. And so, the search for the Allspark goes fairly easy, with Ultra Magnus getting the ship as close as he can to the asteroid field, and Skyquake is able to avoid the plasma storm just like Optimus did in canon, and they set a course for Cybertron, and are successfully able to drop the Allspark into the well, bringing life back to Cybertron once again. And Cybertron has started its new era. Meanwhile, in deep space, at the edge of the universe, the spirit forms of Shatter and Dropkick go through a vortex, with potential for a multiversal return. And that is the story on what if Shatter and Dropkick were in Transformers Prime. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And I'll see you guys in What If Drift was in Transformers Prime.